Black SUVs, masked officers, no names, no badges. Across America, raids are unfolding in neighborhoods that never expected to see them. No sirens, no flashing lights, just quiet power moving through the streets. What used to be a border issue is now a national phenomenon. And what began as immigration enforcement has evolved into something far larger. A reflection of how far the government can go when accountability disappears. Since the summer of 2025, Homeland Security has accelerated what it calls Operation Midway Blitz, a campaign meant to detain individuals with criminal records or deportation orders, but something about this operation is different. The raids no longer stay near the border. They now stretch into suburbs, industrial towns, and major cities like Chicago, Denver, and Phoenix. In just a few months, more than 8,000 people have been arrested, a 40% increase compared to 2 years ago. But what's changing isn't just the scale, it's the secrecy. Agents now move in unmarked trucks, wearing masks that conceal their faces and uniforms stripped of insignia. The Department of Homeland Security says it's for officer safety. Civil rights groups say it's state secrecy, power with no name attached. Unlike local police, ICE field units aren't required to wear body cameras or display identification. So when arrests happen at night, there's no visual record, no public accountability. Once visibility disappears, so does oversight. Legally, ICE operates under administrative warrants, forms signed by supervisors, not by judges. That means they can approach someone in a public space, ask questions, or make an arrest if they have probable cause. But those warrants don't permit agents to enter private homes without consent or a judicial order. When they do, they cross a constitutional line. Federal courts in Illinois and California have ruled that such entries violate the Fourth Amendment, even when targeting undocumented individuals. Yet the raids continue, often justified under vague safety or urgency claims that rarely get challenged in time. As these unmarked raids expand, local governments are starting to push back. Mayors and governors in several states have demanded explanations. Chicago's mayor called it law enforcement without faces. Colorado's governor proposed legislation requiring every federal agent to carry visible ID. Even local police departments admit they're often left in the dark, unsure who's actually in charge when federal agents operate within their jurisdiction. The result is confusion, mistrust, and a breakdown of cooperation between city officers and federal teams, a dangerous mix when lives are at stake. Behind every statistic is a human story. Families woken at dawn by pounding on the door, phones confiscated, parents zip-tied in front of their children. Many of those detained are released within days. No charges filed, no explanations given. But the damage remains. Jobs lost, trauma left behind, and a growing fear in communities that now see every black SUV as a potential threat. Even U.S. citizens in mixed-status families live under constant anxiety, unsure whether a simple mistake could trigger an encounter that changes everything. And this fear doesn't stay confined to immigrant communities. It spreads quietly but steadily. Because what's at stake isn't just immigration policy. It's the balance between power and accountability. If one branch of law enforcement can act without identification, so can others. Today it's ICE. Tomorrow it could be protest policing, surveillance enforcement, or financial raids. When anonymity becomes standard practice, democracy loses one of its core protections: visibility. The question is simple but urgent. How do you hold accountable a government that hides its own face? The founding principle of American law enforcement was transparency. Every badge linked to a name, every warrant traceable to a judge, every action accountable to the public. Once that principle erodes, the system stops being about justice and starts being about control. America's strength has always rested on the idea that authority answers to the people, not the other way around. Every badge, every action, every law should lead back to someone responsible. Because when power can move unseen, it stops being protection and becomes something else entirely. Justice without visibility isn't justice at all. It's power in the dark. And once power learns it can hide, it rarely stops. Before you scroll away, remember this. Inside Room 45 is where we strip all that away and follow what actually moves power. The laws, the money, the silence. If you want to understand what's really shaping your world, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and stay with us.